Welcome back to 4 Geeks by Geeks, where geeks come to geek out. We are back with another RPG project, which is a joint collaboration between 4 Geeks by Geeks and Let's Get Rollin', where we bring in various TTRPGs that you may not know about and introduce you to them, so you can bring them to your table and broaden your skill set. I'm T. I'm with 4 Geeks by Geeks.
I'm Josh. I'm a host of Dairy Public Radio.
I'm Austin. You might know me as Birdsuck. I do drawings and stuff.
I'm Brit, and I'm from Let's Get Rollin'.
And if you're curious of how to play this game and you were like, I like rules and stuff, don't worry, we're going to have a how-to play video attached to this as well. So you're going to get to see the live-action version and be able to have a resource to go to kind of help fuel your questions, comments, and concerns. But I don't get to run this game because this is a DM-less game, and that makes me very excited because this is going to be a first for me. But I also don't have to be the rule facilitator here. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this off to Josh before I get to start my chaos. So let's go ahead and let's get rolling.
All aboard that hellbound train!
Chugga, 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 woo, woo.
As T said, there's no GM in this game. There is a facilitator, which is the role I will be taking. Essentially, facilitator means that I will be explaining the phases when we hit them, and if there is a decision, I choose last. Or, in certain cases, I will go first, since I'm the facilitator. But before we get into the game, it is time to enter the preparation phase of that hellbound train. Now, there are 4 individuals here at this table. There are 4 souls that are about to board a train to hell. So, let's first go over the souls and what it is they're looking for. So first up, we have the youth who hunts for something they cannot live without. Who will be playing the youth?
That'll be me.
Nice.
Do you want me to extrapolate on my character?
Yeah, you don't have to. Now, with this game, you're told to answer 3 questions. Do not answer them now. Just
okay.
Share anything in general you want about your character. You can share the animal that you picked if you'd like.
Okay,
or
sure.
Any details?
Sure, yeah. So, I am Romeo Montague, and my spirit animal is the Mustang.
The Mustang, I love it.
Yeah. I am a hopeless romantic. And my life essence has recently been crushed and taken from me, and I'm in the search to repair the damage that's been done.
Fantastic. Joining the youth for this hellbound train is the elder who seeks something they can't die without. And who is our elder?
It's gonna be me. I'm playing Beulah Divine. She's the next dancer. She's a retired dancer who's just recently become a widow.
So she's available.
And
what sort of dancer was she?
think of like White Christmas, like type of dance.
Hell yeah!
So,
oh,
yeah.
Like the severe dance breakdowns.
Yeah, but she smoked a pack of cigarettes a day to keep skinny.
Outstanding. Joining the youth and the elder, we have the fool who looks for something they should flee.
That would be me. I am playing Warren Bird. He is a cat, or his
He is a cat.
Yeah, I realize I need to clarify. The spirit animal, or whatever this game refers to it as, is a cat, but specifically it's a Siamese cat. Because Warren Bird cares about one thing, being a conspiracy theory stoner. He wants to know all of the secrets of the world.
That's outstanding. That leaves me as the facilitator. I will be playing the wronged who searches to set things right. And I will be playing Kyle Beaumont, a 35-year-old photographer whose spirit animal is, like any good paparazzi photographer, a snake.
That's a good. That's so,
yeah.
This has a corkboard and everything. I'm so excited to see what comes from this.
I've specifically not told you all there would be any props involved, so I'm very excited. All right, so let's get to the setting. Because this is a literal train to hell, it follows folklore logic. That means it doesn't need to run on tracks. It can appear anywhere, everywhere. So let's talk about the setting for our adventure today. We are going to be meeting in a company town. Is everybody familiar with the term company town? It'd be it's what happens is a big corporation will give it
yes,
a fucking Amazon.
Yeah, like an Amazon. They basically buy a town, build their factory. They own all the houses, all the businesses. Everybody who lives there works there. It's basically slavery. So this is going to take place in a town called Serenity, which is one of those company towns turned ghost town. We find this along Highway 50 in Nevada, known as America's loneliest highway. There is no city for miles and miles around this large stretch of barren wasteland. But we all find ourselves in this company town. We're going to have some world building questions. Now, don't answer these questions in character, and they don't need to be used or justified in the game in any way. This is just to build where we are. And I'm going to ask each of you one question, but everyone else feel free to expand on the answer as we flesh out this town. First one, this one's for anybody. We need a name for this company and what they produced. It can be any industry.
That's on you guys. I can't name shit.
It's called Spoogle.
Spoogle. Okay.
And they're an internet like search engine.
And just like that, the
familiar.
RPG project has been shut down.
Yeah. All right.
This has been fun.
Yeah.
Guys.
Very cool. Spoogle bought up Serenity because they were going to be the next big thing, and
yeah.
And
unfortunately, there was
being survived somehow. So weird that happened.
There's just like this one company that already exists. It sounds so similar.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of it in my life.
Yeah.
We're gonna
tap my tongue.
We're gonna turn our first world building question to our elder. Actually, so we just established Spoogle built Serenity. What caused the company to close and the town to die?
Gen Z.
Accurate.
Okay, guys, it's been fun. See you.
I said you didn't have to answer in character.
So basically, you know,
there's Republican.
there's new and better things coming out. So, you know, with the advancement of technology, better things came out, and so basically Schmoogle got, or Spoogle, whatever, how you pronounce it, became just basically like
Bing. It got pinged.
Pinged, not
it
Bing.
got pinged.
Ping. It got pinged.
It got pinged.
Pinged.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So they
got a giant influx of money. They bought, renovated, did this whole town, and then it all fell apart. Somebody beat them to a patent that was the backbone of their business, and it all just crumbled. So yeah,
the primary colors logo really is what
they got sued into oblivion.
They could only get secondary colors, and it just didn't have the marketability.
And it was ugly. Yeah, it was ugly.
Cool. And when the company closed, there was nothing to be done here, so everybody left. So the houses have been boarded over, businesses closed, shuttered, all that. And it's been probably 15 years since there was anything in this town. Our youth.
Yeah.
What's a notable landmark in the town?
Oh yeah, okay. Probably like a giant bronze statue of Jonathan Spugel, the founder of the company. He's depicted as a sort of a Renaissance man with like a rapier and a cape. He was an eclectic, or no, eccentric. He was an eccentric.
Is there a plaque or anything on this?
Yeah,
sure. Dedication.
Sure. Yeah, he was alive. But
that's what it says. He was alive.
No. He was alive at the time, but it's like written like this is going to be a long-standing monument.
I see.
Kind of deal. Like it's like an etching of his existence in the world.
It's almost
he could still be alive in it.
I think he still pays somebody to make sure it stays clean, so there's no graffiti on it. Nothing is said. There's still somebody that is employed to make sure that
the only
statue is so
person who still lives
pristine.
here.
There's once a month somebody drives out here to add the 2 hours.
Fucking 8-hour drive.
Yeah, but he pays them $1,000 a week to do it. I'd drive the 2 hours to clean a statue for $1,000. Come on,
straight.
Yeah, he's got them Spugel bucks.
That was the problem. He tried taking down the dollar and tried implementing Schmoogle bucks. It didn't catch on.
That makes sense.
He was a narcissist and an anarchist.
Does anybody else want to throw out any landmark in this town?
Warren grows a lot of weed since nobody can stop him.
In the desert?
Yep.
Nice.
He didn't say it was good weed.
Yeah, that's true. Where is that like in the basement of a building you broke into?
Several of them.
Holy shit.
He's got them connected underground.
Oh. Are you the person that gets paid to wash the statue?
I think so.
Okay,
that's so funny.
That
You've used the investment.
That's so fucking insane.
You used the investment to make an underground.
But he doesn't flip it to increase his profit. He just smokes everything he grows.
That makes sense. He's living his best life.
That's so disgusting. That's so much. How do you move?
Underground.
You're just sitting there like this.
Listen, Snoop Dogg does just fine. Okay.
He mostly smokes tobacco, though. Hot take.
Speaking of fools, T, as our local fool, what is a piece of local folklore in this town?
Ooh, that's a good question. I definitely think part of the folklore stemmed from Gen Z spreading that people were dying inside of Schmoogle, but they were covering it up. So they couldn't find evidence because technically Serenity doesn't have a death count. So it's like Disney. Nobody dies on Disney. They die off the property.
Yep. They die in the parking lot.
Exactly.
What?
Yep.
Well, I don't know this about Disney.
Yeah, no.
We don't have to teach
Nobody has ever died at Disney because if something happens, they are taking off premises, and that is where their death takes place. Even if they technically died on Disney, no, they didn't.
You could be decapitated. You could be decapitated on a ride. They'd put you on a gurney, take you into the parking lot, and then that's where they'd have the medical person declare you dead.
Correct.
Well, Schmoogle doesn't get us shut down. You guys saying that's going to.
Also, Mickey Mouse is coming out of trademark. So
there ain't no way in hell, but that's another conversation.
All right, cool. We've established our characters. We've talked a little bit about the town. It's time to move to the waiting phase. Opening cinematically, drone shot over expansive desert. The sun is high in the sky. It's about 11 a.m., so it's just starting to get to the hottest part of the day. And we scan across this desert. We see some tumbleweeds, little scorpion walking through, and we come across a road. One single road running through this expanse. And in the center of this road, dangles a single hanging stoplight above a bronze statue of a man in a cape with a rapier. Bringing things to ground level, you hear a click and see a flash of light. The camera turns to reveal a 35-year-old man, shaggy blonde hair, disheveled beard. He looks like he could be mistaken for Kurt Cobain if this was in the 90s. He looks like shit, but he has this gorgeous, very expensive camera, and he's just taken a picture of this statue. And he looks around and he sees the shuttered stores that are around, and there happens to be a bench out front of a boarded up barber shop. And Kyle Beaumont sits down and starts looking through the photos on his camera.
But as you look up from the it almost looks like just the desert floor, you see a very thick smokestack just kind of rising up, just kind of out of nowhere, as you see two cellar doors fly open with more smoke protruding out. As you see a gentleman with cargo shorts, a very overly sized baggy hoodie, and a blunt hanging from the top of his lip, just kind of walking out, just like staring into nothingness.
Do you got your jams on?
Yeah, for sure. And Warren...
Oh, when was the last time you saw somebody in town?
We're going to get into that very quickly. Warren is going to take a hit as he kind of looks around. Dog, there's somebody's here right now. Did I finally get this shit right? And then he's going to go back into the basement.
You just popped up for some air.
And while he's in the basement, he is going to start trimming a bunch of things and grab a bunch of pieces of items and stuff them in his pocket as he makes his way back up the stairs and is heading over towards the bench. And as he's approaching, you can definitely see on his face, he's squinting, but not in the I'm blitzed out of my mind, but like, is this a mirage? And as he gets close to you, he just reaches out one hand and touches your cheek.
Slaps. What the fuck?
Dog, why are you so aggressive?
Where the fuck did you come from?
Where the fuck did you come from?
I just drove in.
Why? You want some?
No, sorry, I don't anymore.
And he looks around and he sits down next to you, takes off his headphones, but like opens them outward so you can hear just terrible music being played obnoxiously loud.
Kyle scoots all the way to the other end and just goes back to his camera.
What? And he's gonna reach over and poke you again.
Can I help you?
I'm not sure you're real.
Yeah, I'm real, man. Are you alright? Like, God, you smell like shit. Actually, hold on. Stay right here. And he gets up, and the glint of the bronze statue. He takes a photo of you on the bench, and then looks at it.
Yo, let me see.
Turns
I need
it
to
to
do
you.
a MySpace photo. Dog, that's sick! Can you send me that?
And it's on my camera. It's not my phone.
Can you, like, print that?
Sure, man. Yeah. Whatever you need.
Dog, thanks, homie. How do you feel about reptiles?
I'm against it.
What about reptile people?
Okay. I'm starting to feel like I'm in the wrong place. Is there anybody else around here that I can talk to?
As this is going on, A black SUV is going to pull up with like very tinted windows, and the driver's door is going to open up, and this well-dressed, like in a really dark suit, is going to come out. Is this the train stop?
Kyle goes pale.
Warren looks at his blunt and then immediately gets up and tries to poke you in the face.
Okay. And the guy's gonna walk over to the car door and open it up, and out jumps 45, 50-ish year old man, a very uptight looking woman around the same age, and maybe 3 or 4 children, all replicas of each other, just in different ages. And the older man is going to reach out and grab the hand, and it's a frail hand's gonna reach out and grab it. Come on, Mom. Come on, get out of the car. Get your hands off me! Fucking children. And she's gonna slap his hand with her purse. She's gonna jump out by herself.
How identical are the children?
So they're probably ranging in like 3 years apart from each other, but they're like blonde hair, blue-eyed.
Warren is overly investigating them. Like way too close for comfort.
Beulah's gonna hop down and she's gonna slap her son with her purse. Get your hands off me! I'm very capable of doing things myself. She's gonna slam the door to the SUV, and he's gonna carry him on her. Come on, Mom, you know that you still need help. I told you I don't need any help! Honey, she said she doesn't need any help. Just let her down here. It's time to go. But, okay, Mom, we're leaving now. Okay, goodbye. But Mom, this is the last time I'm gonna see. I said goodbye.
Wait, before you go, where's your family come from? Are you guys German?
The woman's gonna look.
How do you feel about reptile people?
Warren. Oh my God, it's time to leave. Get in the car, kids. Get in the car.
She's for
they're
sure
all,
reptile.
They're all going to get in the car. It was lovely knowing you, Beulah. I wish you well in your travels with these. Get in the car, kids. Get in the car. Bye, Grandma. Yeah. Goodbye, Billy. Okay. Tommy, children, goodbye. And they're all gonna pile in the car, and the car's gonna leave. And Beulah's gonna sit down on the bench between you two.
Warren tries to pass the blunt to you.
She's gonna take it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, she is.
Yeah, he does.
See, that's how you make friends.
This is a little... it's a little bit stronger than what I'm used to. And she's gonna reach in her purse.
I've got others, and he pulls out an obnoxious amount of like gummies and just various
Jesus Christ.
I can't have those with my dentures.
Okay. And he's
She's
just
gonna
gonna
reach
put
it-
it back.
She's gonna reach in her purse and take out a pack of like Marlboro Lights. Anyone got a light? I guess you do.
Yeah, yeah. And he
You
pulls
gotta
out
have to.
an obnoxiously large torch.
Gotta
Like
watch
for a
out. You're
dab
gonna
rig?
burn someone's house down. So what are you doing here? Who are you? She points to Kyle.
My name's Kyle. I'm a photographer.
He won't send you photos, though. He's very rude about it.
It's okay. I've seen my face enough times. Are you fancy
yeah.
photographer? Do you get paid? Or are you one of those bums that just takes pictures of apples on the ground and calls it art?
As much as I went to school and paid a lot of money to take pictures of apples on the ground,
Warren puts on a gas mask.
I remember when we wore those to school.
He slides it up. What year was that?
A long time ago. My tits were riding up here at that time.
Do you think Hitler made it to the Fountain of Youth?
That's a good question.
Kyle,
that's what I'm saying!
Kyle goes off to take pictures of apples on the ground. He's just very...
I like bananas better.
Way.
They do well with my stomach good.
As Kyle's walking away, though, he's literally taking pictures of the ground, not even looking at the frame, and he is hoping to God that Beulah Divine does not recognize him as a paparazzi.
Seeing's not that good. I don't know if she's gonna.
And let's be honest, there's a lot of close smoke in this area, obstructing vision.
You guys can you can cut to me alone in the desert right now, just kind of hanging off of my horse. Like I'm dressed in like different color dyed felty kind of fabrics and linens and stuff. I got family jewels and things like that hung off me very ornately. I've got that kind of like fashionable bowl cut. The two-dimensional
fashionable bowl cuts.
Yeah. Well, it was very fashionable at the time. You just obviously weren't around, Sonny. But I'm hanging off my horse and kind of just like it's like trudging along slowly through the desert, heading towards this wasteland of a town. I'm like at this point of the journey. I'm on kind of my last legs as far as energy is concerned. I kind of just am patting her on the neck. That's a good girl. We're almost there. I hope they have water. Or no, water is fine. Beggars can't be choosers. Oh, maybe there's something for you too. She's not even here. I'm like scratching the air, just like trying to find her head.
Warren picks up his mask and leans over. Are you seeing this too?
Yeah, this probably looks insane.
Yeah, so there's the street that runs through town, so you're coming like perpendicular out of the desert.
Yeah. I'm like coming from maybe I've been lost. Maybe I've actually been in Nevada for like weeks or months even, and I just have no idea where I am or
just making the worst loops, not finding civilization, just only finding the deserts.
If only horses had the same GPS as Beulah's SUV.
Yeah. So there's like a withering soul approaching.
Look at this bum.
The Phantom's only supposed to come at night, though. It's too early for this.
There's ghosts in this town.
Yeah, but only at like dusk and dawn, and it's really weird. Like it's only when the aliens decide to stop by. They usually park over there, and they just kind of like chill on the hill.
Okay, I'm getting old. I'm gonna die before you finish your sentence.
Yes. And he tries to pass the blunt to you again.
The commotion causes Kyle to turn around and see you two talking.
Hey, you able-bodied dude! You able-bodied, come get this punk that's walking down the street. He's obstructing my vision. Get him.
Kyle runs. Oh wait, are you on a horse or are you imagining a horse?
No, I'm on a horse.
You are
on a horse. I just.
Oh, you're reaching up too high.
Yeah, I'm not able to find. I was like, I got purchase on like her like neck, chest.
Got it.
And patting her, but like I can't find. I want to scratch behind her ears, but I just can't seem to find the coordination to.
I've got some lemonade for that guy, and he's gonna disappear back into his cellar.
Okay.
Kyle sprints towards the horse. calling out. Hey,
Quietly, you're gonna scare it.
hey, are you okay?
No. Do you have any water?
We have lemonade, I guess.
Warren comes
lemonade?
back with a open bottle that's been like clearly reused and has just a
Oh no, I'm gonna have to take it.
Yula's
here
gonna
you
reach
go,
in her
dude.
purse, and she's got a flask.
Oh my god.
I got special water.
Whoa, me too.
Son, you
do
can't
you put
pee in
the
a
lemonade-
bottle and call it lemonade.
No, it's lemonade. It's got the good stuff in it.
Okay, what is the good stuff? Because I've got the good stuff right here. This is Patron.
Hey guys, I'm
This
dying.
is like 50 milligrams. This will make you feel better, dude.
Can't just put it in my.
He caresses your jaw and opens it, and then tilts your head back and starts pouring.
Oh sure.
It's strangely intimate.
It's sour.
That'll
Ugh.
get you feeling right in like 6 minutes.
Oh my
Hey.
god! Now I have to imagine what I'll be high like.
And he's gonna try to pass you the blunt.
Will you put that down? Will you help me get him down off this horse?
You're so aggressive, man. You need to chill out.
Yeah, I'm. Everything is super normal. There's full great reasons to chill out.
Yeah. And Warren's gonna like sluggishly put one arm over him to kind of like drag him off the horse.
Kyle is like is carrying most of the weight. trying
Warren
to-
thinks he's helping for
Yeah.
sure, but is not assisting in the slightest.
As you pull me off, like, easy, Buttercup, easy. I'll be right back. Papa just needs to rest his eyes.
My name's Kyle, not Buttercup. I assume you were
No.
patting the back of my head as you.
Yeah, I am. I
Yeah.
can feel your hair, and for the first time, I think I've touched the head of my horse.
Yeah.
How'd you know my nickname?
This is all so much.
Don't let the horse go. If this train doesn't show up, we're gonna need foods.
Trains don't go through here.
Are you here by happenstance? Sorry, that was offside. I think that for the time being, I'm going to pass out.
Perfect.
I just took
set
an
you on the
illicit
bench.
substance. I'm
He,
sure-
yeah, Kyle goes up to Warren. Hey, man, what's your name?
Buttercup.
But
No, I'm just kidding, man. My name's Warren.
Warren, do you have water to give that guy? He just came out of the fucking desert, man.
Yeah, lemonade is the most rejuvenating water.
Lemonade is not water. Water's an ingredient in lemonade. Yes.
Exactly. It's enhanced water.
Are you from around here? Do you
Yeah.
live here?
Yeah.
Where?
Everywhere, man.
This fucking
Alright, but
Wherever I
You
hang
don't-
my hat's my home.
you don't know about a train?
Yeah, I know about trains. They're locomotives. Choo-choo! Charlie's kind of scary, though, dog.
Charlie the Choo-Choo is objectively horrifying.
Yeah, this is a road,
my
not
God.
train tracks.
Yo, you guys just agreed on something I just want to say.
I think this guy needs to get inside to get some out of the heat. He's gonna fucking die out
Oh,
here.
yeah, just come down here in my cellar. Come on.
Never. I'm good.
Warren flips open the cellar doors to get another plume of smoke.
It's just always.
He's constantly he has so much. He's constantly hotboxing that basement.
like a sauna
Yep.
instead of eucalyptus. Okay. So you take me to the weed sauna?
Yep.
I'm sure that'll help me out.
And as you kind of go downstairs, it's the polar opposite of what Serenity is. There's super luxurious couches kind of like around the wall. There's several TVs, like every game system you can come up with. I was like traveling here a lot, and I was like, why travel when I could just like be here and be in my own, like find myself in like nature. And like then I got really bored one day and like I wanted to like dig away. And I'm pretty sure Warren's just talking to himself at this point, because I don't think anybody is conscious or there with him.
I'm asleep. Yeah, you're affecting my dreams.
Warren's kind of got like you slumped over one of the couches, not too concerned. And he just starts talking about like, so I dug all these tunnels to like connect all the houses. Obviously, like the desert gets like super, super, super hot. And then as you can kind of like come and go out of consciousness, like you're trying to fall asleep, you see walls with different photographs and different notes and strings connecting all this shit as Warren's like ducking under strings to get to different portions of this basement.
Yeah, so I guess like at one point in like a lucid state, I'll probably just like roll my head around and be able to like see what's going on.
He does bring you a gallon of water though.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so yeah, I'm like kind of like and then you bring me the water and I'm like for a moment fully alive and just like pouring it down the gullet.
He gets really close to your face. Who sent you? How'd you know my nickname was Buttercup?
So I'll just hold this. I was sent here by Friar Tuck. He told me that this is
the reptile people send you?
Friar Tuck.
As far as I know, he's a person.
Have you checked? It's very easy to tell. In the moonlight, you can see, like, you see how my pupils are like round, but right now they're pinholes. When you look at them in the moonlight, they're like slits. They're like vertical, and like sometimes when you talk, you can really catch their tongue go.
Jesus.
No, Friar Tuck does not fit that description. He's an admirable
crazy.
man.
You gotta stay away from them, man. They're trying to take over the world, but from the inside. Not like the government, but like inside the earth. They're like staging a coup, man. They're gonna take over the surface world. They've just been like plotting and like setting up these like massive armies like inside the earth, man.
He's saying like every other word is a word that I can understand. Like I'm like government, okay, government, yeah, okay,
like
I got
Nessie,
that word. Army, yeah, I got that word.
Nessie is
sure.
how they travel through the waters. There's like all these underground tunnels and links that connect, but like they connect to each other, but like also like inside the earth.
He's lost me again from the majority of that. But I guess me not responding is probably good for you.
Yeah, he's just Warren's just blabbering at this point because he finally has somebody to talk to about all of this.
I guess after like a moment of like you like stop to breathe, I was like, "Thank you for the water."
Oh dog, I'm so. Did you want some of this?
Some
And he tries to pass you the blunt.
And he says, "Oh, I will dabble with a pipe here or there for."
Oh man, I got you. And he disappears, and then comes back with like a cliche, like super long pipe, like the really super curved one.
Hell yeah, dude!
And then he brings out like six different bags. Like, so I've got indica, I've got sativa, and I've got this like crazy monster blend that like it makes your body feel like it's floating. But like your head's just like there and aware, and you like it's like your thoughts are like super speed, man. It's like you can solve so many problems all at the same time.
You speak so fast.
That's what I'm saying, man. Here, let's get you caught up. He starts packing, and he starts packing it for you.
Okay. Smells weird. What kind of tobacco is this?
I've worked really hard on all of this, man. I think you're gonna super like it. It's like it's super smooth on the front, and the burn is so mild.
This guy is speaking in like hieroglyphs.
You had a horse.
Yeah.
And Warren's gonna leave and go check on the horse.
Okay, so I've got a pipe here. I mean, yeah, I guess I would toke on it because it's comforting.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I could have a heart attack before the fucking... Anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah, I just like sit there and I just like, as if it was tobacco, just...
That's a...
Warren's gonna drag out a hose and then just start using the mist setting to spray over the horse.
Yeah. Okay, that's nice.
Hila's just gonna sit
Nice
there
and polite.
smoking her cigarette and enjoying the show.
I think that from the basement you would just hear like heaves and hacks as I've just been taking one steady pull. Yeah, just
He's
taking
really
one
getting
steady
into
pull
the
from
lawn.
this for like a minute, and just like I guess I think if you come in and find me, I'll be like maybe in fetal position and the pipe will be like on the ground. And I just can't imagine what, like, it's like you go back in time and you give someone this substance that's been perfected at this point. You know what I mean? Like what would that do to their... I don't know. I think I might be speaking in tongues for the rest of this.
That's entirely possible. Up on the bench, we have Beulah and Kyle. I'm sitting next to you, and if you look over, I'm going through photos, and you keep seeing a photo of a girl over and over.
Who's the broad?
It's my sister, Annie. She died last year.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thanks. It was a drunk driving accident.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's been a lot, but
They catch the bastard.
yeah, it was her boyfriend, actually.
Oh, fuck. That's why I don't trust men.
He went into a coma after the accident for a year. He just came out of the coma last week. And apparently the miraculous recovery is enough to erase everyone's memory of what he did to my sister. And he doesn't even
Except for
remember.
Except for yours.
Yeah, I have to remember, but he doesn't.
In the background, you can hear Warren telling his conspiracy theories to Buttercup.
This is gonna sound really weird, but after
Weirder than this.
it might. I had a dream that my sister was here, was in front of this statue, and there was a train. And she asked me to take her picture in front of it, and I haven't been able to get it out of my head. I had to do some Google searching to find Spoogel, the Spoogel
Fucking
town.
Spoogel, man.
Jonathan Spoogel.
People still use that shit.
Yeah.
Yo, gotta chill. He can hear you.
I'm gonna draw
He's
a
not,
card.
He's dead.
No, man.
Spoogel's dead.
Oh yeah, I also need a card.
All right. What was your?
It's what brought me here.
Your horse.
Friar Tuck sent me.
Nice. Friar Tuck sent you. Mine was the why I believe what I'll find. But yeah, I can't get it out of my head. I'm sorry, Miss Divine. This isn't your problem. You have your own reasons for being here, I'm sure.
How'd you know my name?
Warren stops everything he's doing and is slowly inching forward.
Sorry, you probably don't remember me. I'm a fan. I've seen. I grew up watching your movies, My sister and I actually used to watch your movies. Your dancing was incredible. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen.
I bet you're taking a look at these hams now and thinking, how did those matchsticks turn into these?
I mean...
Well, I stopped smoking 3 packs a day and started eating bonbons on the couch. After you hit that 3rd movie, there isn't much more dancing that needs to be danced. Plus...
But the dance you did in that 3rd movie, dancing on water, it was beautiful. It was
Jesus.
I was hopped up on Adderall and Patron.
While you're distracted, Warren's gonna try to flip through your camera feed to see what he can see while you're distracted having this conversation.
Yeah, actually, I'm like holding it to the side while I'm having this conversation. It's like I'm trying to cover my ass so hard right now. No, but you're a legend, if you don't mind my saying. I can't imagine what an icon is doing here.
Whose house is this?
What the fuck? It's my friend's house.
It's a close friend.
He scrolls through it, and you see, like, as he's like scrolling through away from it, in very rapid succession, it looks like a family birthday party that he is. And these photos look like they were taken over a fence.
He gets really close to your face. You're one of them, aren't you?
Yep.
I knew it! When's the invasion?
Tomorrow.
I'm not prepared.
Better go prepare, little boy.
I'm not prepared.
You better go. Where's the other dude?
Warren's gone. He's sprinted off down the road again.
Wasn't a choice to be here. Could tell you that. If I had known.
Oh, sorry.
What?
Go on. Go ahead.
I said it wasn't my choice to be here.
But your family dropped you off.
Yeah, they forced me to come.
Wait. I thought you were the one.
No. I have no autonomy anymore, apparently.
Is now sprinting back towards the two of you.
I just like the camera shot is behind the bench, these two talking, and then just in the background you see.
Are you carrying something now, like cartoonishly large?
No, because what had happened was Warren was running down the street and then stopped on his heels and slid, and then flipped back around and is now sprinting back towards them.
Okay.
But your family seems so nice.
That's just because they want their inheritance. Yeah.
Warren runs up behind the two of you and gets between your faces. Is this the train you guys are waiting for?
Kyle like makes eye contact with Beulah, like.
Yeah.
What's your guys' user's name? Because we talked about this on the forum.
I'm a believer. 245.
Yo, it is you guys.
Yep.
Why didn't you say something?
I didn't know it was you, Buttercup.
Man, that's so crazy. We're about to go on this adventure together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you think the other guys here for the same thing?
Why don't you go ask him?
I should go ask him. And he's not going to go around. He jumps over the bench between the two of you.
Beulah startles.
Can I...
As he jumps
Sorry,
over,
and then she lights up
falls
another
out on
cigarette.
top
Of course.
You find me in like I'm assuming you have like a kitchenette in here, and the fridge is still open, and there's just like any kind of edible food has been rooted through. I'm like sitting like cross-legged on the floor, just like kind of just like like tasting all of the weird different things that are in there, and then you can see like the things that are expired or like thrown a distance from me. And I'm just like kind of sitting here just like I don't know, like maybe it's pickles or something. I'm just like sitting there.
Warren sits down next to you and starts eating alongside you. Are you also here for the train?
Fryer did say there was going to be some kind of locomotive.
That's so crazy. I've been waiting for this moment for. Everybody thought I was fucking insane, that this doesn't exist, but here I am, 3 for 3, and everyone keeps calling me the crazy one. He doesn't know what he's talking about, but I was right.
You got any more of these?
Yeah, of course I do. And he opens it up, and there's just a cabinet full of pickles.
And the only edible thing that I've found so far in this cold apparatus you have.
Do you want to? Do you know what you're gonna do on the train? Like, what's? Okay.
Well,
like, so I kind of already told you, but like, I think it's my responsibility to stop the invasion.
There's an army coming?
I told you, man. The reptile people, they're coming.
The reptile, is that their crest?
No, like the reptile people. Alright, so listen.
Please note that these are just the conspiracy theories of T's character and not the actual thoughts and opinions of Let's Get Rollin' and 4 Geeks by Geeks.
Oh,
So,
the
like,
people in the moonlight with the slanted eyes.
Yeah. So like back in the 40s, like this guy named, like, you know, Hitler, right? Like, so Hitler, like, he lost. But
No,
like,
who's Hitler?
so, listen, that's
Was he a king?
Not a good one. So like, he did this like super crazy fucked up shit, but then like everybody said he killed himself, but like it didn't make sense. But then they couldn't find his body. But then there was like traces of him down in like Venezuela, and they think what had happened was he'd found the fountain of youth. And so like then from there, like he was approached by the reptilian people, and because he still had all these goals and aspirations, he went with the reptilian people and became one of them. And like he's not done, like he's coming back.
And so
I
you
think
need
it's
a magic train?
Yeah, because like I gotta stop him. But like I'm a one-man show trying to stop like all these reptilian people. I was like, so I gotta find the fountain so I can become immortal, so I can stop him, so I can save the world.
And you have prowess with a saber?
How
How are you gonna stop them?
I've got so many swords.
Can I see your armory?
Yeah. And he's gonna run to the back room and just grab a heaping amount of swords. Some of them are sheathed and others are not. And he's just gonna plummet, grab whatever you need, because this shit's gonna get crazy. But don't let their blood get on you, because I'm pretty sure it's like acid.
Okay.
Also, reveal one of my.
That was your desire?
Yep.
Right, Warren.
Yeah, I guess I will just go through the blades. It's mostly just like anime katanas, like replica of anime katanas and stuff like that.
There's a lightsaber in there too.
Yeah, I will grab what's his name? Ichigo Sanbakuto.
Warren's gonna stuff his pockets with ninja stars.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And then
Actually, you know what I'll do is I'll draw the blade, and I'll like. This blade is blunt. This is but a butter knife.
I could no better sheath this in my heart than I can.
do you have a whetstone, or?
And he goes.
This is a useless blade.
He goes to the faucet, grabs a rock, and just puts it under the water. Here you go.
Good sir. No, this simply won't do. Sheath it. I open another one. It's just another like phony, like just like prop sword. Oh my. You are foolishly underprepared. I grab you by the shoulders. If there was a battle coming, none of these will draw blood. And I start having a fucking drug-induced panic attack.
I'm gonna let you like mellow out. I've got Buttercup chilling under a rainbow. Buttercup is vibe, and Buttercup is cool.
She will be safe. She's got a very weak disposition.
I don't think Picture Boy's gonna be great in this war, but like old girl, she gonna fuck some shit up. I feel like she for sure uses a claymore. And Warren's gonna pick up more weapons and then make his way out of the basement back towards the two of you.
We're all going to die. We're all going to die. Lizard people with reflective skin and acid spit blood are going to eat us alive. Who is this Hitler guy? Oh my god.
Romeo's existential crisis.
Yeah, who's this Hitler guy? What is super speed?
When Warren comes up with his armful of munitions, Kyle turns to Beulah. Can you talk to him? I'm gonna go down and make sure that horse guy is doing all right. We haven't seen him since he went down.
Sure, if you hear some yelling, though.
Yeah, sure
Ignore
thing,
it.
Mr. Vine.
Warren sits down awkwardly close next to you. All right. I can tell you're a bad bitch and you can hold your own. I for sure get Claymore vibes. I need you to understand. I will try my best to keep you safe, but you have to be careful of the reptilians. They have our skin, but it's just a ploy. They're not actually one of us.
Sounds good.
You gotta look at their eyes.
That's great.
Warren casually slides his hand in his side cargo pocket and is starting to palm a few different ninja stars, and it begins to slowly bring them up nonchalantly.
Don't try anything, Sonny. I got reflexes like a cat.
Yeah,
They call me the cougar.
me too. And he's gonna ninja roll away from you and try to throw a ninja star.
She's gonna take her purse very slowly, but like in time. There's a brick in her purse, because of course there is.
Of course
And
there
she's just gonna lift it up in front of her face, and it's gonna go.
She hit her fucking son with that.
Yes, she did.
Whoopsies.
I mean,
No wonder they
her
want you
son's-
fucking
Yeah,
gone.
her son's forcing her to her death, it sounds like.
I'm kidding with you. I'm not a lizard.
That's what they tell you to say.
Okay. Look at my eyes. Get close.
He gets awkwardly close, but like to the side, so if you try to spit on him, it'd be difficult. And he gets he is eyeball to eyeball with you, like eyelashes are like touching close. Warren jumps back, throwing every ninja star he has available, just like outward.
Can you like this?
He scrambles across the ground, dragging all weapons away from you. But he's a gentleman, so he pulls out the torch and lights it for you.
Thanks. Thanks. So how long have you lived here?
How long have you been one of them?
I sold my soul about, what year is it?
Wait, but if you sold your soul, how are you going to get on the train? It has a cost.
I think I have enough monies for that. So how long have you lived here?
What year is it?
Shit, dude,
Yes.
don't I want to know?
I think it's the year 2023.
11.
Jonathan was, how old is he? Died when he was 64, right? Yeah, I guess. I'm 70. Okay, yeah. Okay.
I just quantified that number.
So you've been washing my husband's statue for the last 11 years, huh?
You're Miss Spook. I knew you were one of them.
I mean, one of them. I married him because the money started drying up. You don't think dance in the last few years cost me money? Sure, I got some, royalties here and there for people airing my movies.
Then who's still been paying me?
Me! My husband died! He left me I'm a widower, whatever.
Why didn't nobody tell me, man?
I'm still paying you salary.
I confided in you.
The statue.
Dick.
He's been dead for like 6 months now.
He was kind of an asshole.
My child William wanted to stop paying you, but he doesn't have control of the money. I do.
Reptiles.
But apparently not for long.
If they're a reptile that's on my mission...
They're not a reptile.
Are you sure?
I saw them when they came out of the womb. They were naked. No, they're not a lizard.
Right, but they could have later sold themselves to the reptile.
My daughter-in-law, yeah, she's probably one of those
I
reptilian
knew it!
people.
That snaky bitch.
So I guess that means that my grandchildren are part reptilian.
That's the problem. No, we can't have hybrids among us.
It's not my fault.
Oh, this is bad. The invasion's already started.
I mean, I don't think that my grandchildren could do much. The lazy son of a bitches. All they want to do is play on the tablets and listen to that music, Young Gravy. That's, I think, what his name is. I don't know why they're telling the age of gravy. Gravy's gravy. It's good or it's bad. Not young or old.
I had old gravy once. It was not good.
My grandson, the oldest one, told me that I could probably date young gravy. Apparently he likes older women. But I'm a cougar. I mean, I guess I could date him. Anyways, that's not the point. It's not the point. I didn't want to come here. I still got many lives to live. My children.
Warren sits down and pops open an old school cigarette case and pulls out another joint and lights it.
Where'd you get that? That's pretty nice. I had one of those back in my days.
You want it?
No. My time here is limited. You
Same.
enjoy it.
I mean, if the time is limited, time is now. And he opens it back up to hand you one.
Nah. I'm good. I already don't have my wits about me. You don't want my bras hanging from the trees.
He looks around. At least could use some color.
I believe that's a card for you, correct?
Yeah, that would be a card for me. She's gonna hand him her flask.
He for sure takes a drink after this conversation. Oh God. Well, it was a fun run here. But it sounds like my destiny's about to begin.
I mean, if my daughter-in-law really wasn't lizard people, and she didn't stay to fight ya, they're very cowardice.
That she just means she's a scout. She knows where she's gonna tell them where I am.
Oh shit. Well, that was her doing. She brought me here, not the other way around. So you can't blame me.
Nah, you're fine. And he daps you up.
She's gonna poke it. Good job. Good job.
Today's the beginning of the end. The beginning of the end.
As you guys vibe on the bench, from the cellar door, you hear sounds of Young Gravy's album playing. Because down in there,
Warren's
Kyle,
got everything on vinyl.
Yeah, Kyle has found your Young Gravy CD, and he's like, "Fuck yeah, all right." And he puts it in.
Jesus.
And he goes and finds the man on the horse. I'm assuming sitting on the floor with pickles.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing: is the pickles are not satiating the hunger, right? So yeah, I've got a jar of pickle that I'm not even eating anymore. I'm just kind of like clutching it because I'm full blown going crazy. It was weird enough when I was on a boat that moved on its own and yelled like a monster out of a story, and then there was these screens that displayed paintings with numbers that would flash. I've gone through a lot, and then to get here to find out that it's all in woe, and I'm going to die by the hand of a lizard folk, to which I've never heard before. I think at this point I'm just like kind of muttering to myself and just like having irreparable psyche damage has happened.
Kyle puts a hand on your shoulder to ease your rocking, and like pulls the jar away and grabs the water jug. Hey, you need more. You need more of this, man. Hey, can I get your name?
Romeo Montague of Verona.
Wherefore art thou, Romeo?
What is it? I'm right here.
Sorry. No, sorry. I thought you were kidding.
I'm Romeo.
Where's Juliet?
You mistook me from someone else? What did you say? What did you say?
I asked you where Juliet was. It's a reference to something else.
You see my eyes start welling up.
Hey, look, you seem like you're pretty messed up right now. What's the last thing you remember before we found you on the horse?
Well, I suppose I would have been on the horse, riding normally. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I ran out of rations. A couple days in. It's hot here.
Yeah,
it's so warm.
That's what happens when we don't set our scene in Fair Verona.
Yeah. What?
Sorry.
Do you know of my home?
I was a theater major before I started photography. It's not a...
Of course he was.
You... Wait. Are you saying there's been tales told in this foreign land of my home? And he kind of starts tearing up.
Yeah, I played. I embodied Mercutio. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That is just absolute. What? Okay. Sorry. What was this? What was this play about?
The best part is he's having this conversation blitzed out of his mind.
Yeah.
It was about two star-crossed lovers, the Romeo and Juliet, who had a whirlwind 3-day affair and decided to run away to get married, but tragically both died.
That story is almost entirely true.
What's the last thing you remember about Juliet?
She was... And I go into my belt, and I said, she was bleeding on the floor, clutching this.
What is it?
It's my dagger.
Aha! Oh. I'm sorry for your loss.
And a grave loss. We would have gone out together, but Friar mixed my poison, not potent enough. I had really bad diarrhea.
Kronk strikes again.
That explains why you were so dehydrated.
I mean, this was like months ago, lad. The diarrhea has passed, I hope.
Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. What happens when you eat a stomach full of dill pickles?
Dude, I don't know. It might be back.
Why? If you were in Verona, why are you here?
Well, of course, I was supposed to die with my beloved, as the story tells. The plan that we made. If we couldn't be together, we would die together. But I couldn't hold up my end of the deal, and so I come seeking her soul, her essence. Friar Tuck said that this was a train that allowed people to go to the afterlife, and I intend to get her back. Because if we will not die together, then we shall live together. I want to say that sounds crazy, but that's literally the least crazy thing that's been said today.
True.
In this moment, up until this exact second, Kyle has believed Romeo is clearly having a psychotic break but in that moment, he believes Romeo. You're exactly right. Things have been so fucking crazy that for some reason the idea that this is happening feels in the realm of possibility.
I kind of strap the dagger back around my waist, and I say, if I can't retrieve her, then I'll die trying, and at least I've fulfilled my end of the promise.
I kind of understand how you feel.
But these fucking lizard people?
I think the lizard people are not going to be a problem, if I'm honest.
They sound like a problem. Who's this Hitler king that I heard about?
Oh boy. That's a story for another day, I think.
Well, if he is to be leading these soldiers, then I feel I should know about him.
I have a feeling we're not going to have to worry about much more by the end of today.
Oh, yeah, my posture sinks in. Like, well, whatever happens, to love. And I hold up a jar of pickles.
To love. And he clinks
to light and love.
To light and love. And he clinks the other pickle jar and
I drink pickle juice.
God,
I'm salty.
If I'm honest,
but delicious.
To clarify, there was also weed in the pickles.
Kyle opens up a bag of dill-dressed chips.
Nice.
Real pickle theme.
Keep the flavor profile the same. After a long day of eating pickles, you know what I like? Pickle flavored shit.
Think of all the canker sores.
Yeah.
My God, it's so bad.
Ed, would you have any tzatziki as well?
You know tzatziki.
There's dill in that too, right?
Sour cream and onion Pringles. Verona invented the can of Pringles. Kyle, he grabs his camera and he pulls a picture of his sister up and shows Romeo a picture of his sister.
It's the reincarnation of Juliet.
That
would be insane.
Does she look familiar, man? Well, that's up to you.
Recognize her. Yeah, sure. Oh,
what do you say when?
Are you a Capulet?
I mean, my last name is Beaumont, but my great grandmother was like a Copernicus or a something like that. It was. My sister did an Ancestry.com thing and submitted her DNA, and I won't do it because that puts you in a whole bunch of databases. I've seen some shit.
What is all of these? What's a database?
Sorry.
Like a place. What's a database?
Like imagine oh, you know when you were born and they wrote your name down in the book with all of your ancestors?
Yes,
it's
the family
that.
tree. Oh.
Yeah. My sister
the
created.
database.
Yes, we call it a database, and it has our entire family tree and our lineage.
And you want the lizard people to not have access to this base. Is it well fortified?
Ideally.
I want something a lot simpler. I want payback.
Quick flash, Warren is telling.
Said,
Warren is explaining that that's how the reptilian people are gaining access to who they need to overtake is using Ancestry.com.
Is that is he explaining that to Beulah as we speak?
Yeah.
Beulah's falling asleep.
Yeah.
She's
Nice.
like a cat in the sun, and she's like,
There's no way that you fucking sleep quietly.
no, I don't.
No shot.
The brick is actually her travel sleep apnea machine. Look, man, this is gonna sound crazy, but I think we're here for the same thing. What do you feel up for getting back out there?
I kind of go to stand, and I guess I'm very fucked up. Like there's no way about it. So I get up to stand, and I guess I like stumble, and I catch myself on the countertop and be like, just get me to Buttercup.
All right.
The horse one.
Okay, yeah, of course. All right, and that's card for me. Austin, is that one for you also?
Yes. Yeah.
My desire for revenge. And Romeo's desire.
The soul of my beloved.
That feels appropriate.
Oh wow.
It's a Queen of Diamonds.
Hell yeah, dude. Red Queen. It's nuts.
And we head back up, and I take him over to Buttercup. And I see you guys talking.
You see
no,
Warren
you see
explaining.
Warren talking. You see Beulah asleep.
You see ninja stars all over the place.
And a smattering of prop weapons. I just kind of put my hands for the first time, find purchase of her face, kind of put my head on her head, and I'll be like, I won't let them eat you. You're safe, Buttercup.
You will not be turned into glue.
You're safe. What's glue? Shut up. I whisper as if I was talking to Buttercup.
The best part
What's
is
glue?
the mist is still falling on both of them while this is happening.
Oh yeah, you have the
I have the hose set up so it's just raining on the horse.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I'm sitting there like, tepid weather.
He's in the music video.
Yeah.
Having an emotional.
Watch out for a tempest.
Yeah, you catch me doing one of these. Kind of doing one of these.
Horse licks your mouth.
Yeah. Buttercup, stop it. You get some too. Try to. It's very heavy head. Trying to direct it up. It's fine. You're fine. Is anybody? Wait. Is anybody? Oh, Buttercup, I'm so sorry. It's starting to hit me now. Really. Getting a little disillusioned. Does anybody give the water to Buttercup? Is my baby head water?
Yes.
It's so hard to get here.
There's like a bucket.
There's none of that spicy water from before. The lemon ale.
No, man, you don't give animals spicy water. That's rude as fuck.
Okay, good. You're going to be fine, Buttercup. You wouldn't happen to have a grain or like a handful of carrots or something, or anything other than it's like pickles and whatever you could.
Beulah wakes up from her nap and goes, "That man knows where to find an apple. He's been taking pictures of them."
Apple would be great, actually. An apple would be lovely. If you have one for me too, or we can share. Buttercup can share. We can share. Isn't that right? And I start grabbing her by the lip.
Apple sounds so fire right now.
That's my girl. Yeah. So do you have any like produce or anything other than?
Yeah, where'd you find apples? I haven't had an apple around here in like years.
It was just a red rock.
That won't do.
I thought I was high. Damn, what is he on?
Okay, I guess we'll starve. Unless you'd like a pickle. You would like a bit. And then I pull from my satchel, I've got 3 jars of pickles.
Oh, I thought there was just loose pickles.
Just pocketing them.
Yeah, I just kept them from a side. I've had preserved food, obviously, but never, this well. Preserved food that tastes with a flavor? What? I'll offer a pickle, and I mean, it smells. Whatever. My perception, whether Buttercup eats it or not, is not important. I drop it if the horse doesn't eat it. But I put it up to her lips.
Warren, can you show me where you have like fresh food in your
yeah,
dungeon,
man, I grow
please?
all of that.
Great. Do you have another storehouse with produce?
Yeah.
All right, take me there.
It's the desert, man. How do
I
you think
wanna
I
see
survive
this.
out here?
I want to see this. Someone put me on the back and carry me.
Buttercup is strong and noble. That was related to what someone said. I just can't remember what it was.
Miss Divine, it would be an honor.
Yeah, and Warren leads the way to the house across the street. And then this time when you open the cellar door, I'm assuming everybody would assume a plume of smoke to escape.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, she
but-
went like this.
But nothing happens. As you step downstairs, you see an incredibly dug out basement with lights, like UV lights everywhere, and then any type of vegetation you can think of is being grown in the basement. He's just got his own little farmhouse in the basement that he's just cultivated his entire survival off of.
He learned it from Farmville.
Yep.
So I'll walk Buttercup towards, be like, who's taking a ride on Buttercup? Somebody needed one, right? They're nice people. Okay, to the forest or garden. Garden. I don't see a garden.
And yeah, Warren is just gonna start plucking out different fruits or fruits and vegetables
Fruits
and
and
puts it into a
Vegetables.
basket and just kind of carries it over.
I'm trying to imagine my reaction to purple lights. No, you said you had video games and stuff, so it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. I won't freak out. It'll be the least freaky thing that's happened so far with technology. The youth.
Yeah, take whatever
So
you guys want. I
intoxicating.
have so much. Most of it just gets like repurposed back into the soil to grow more. So
Yeah, just put something in my hand. What do
And
you
he
think
hands you
Buttercup
an
would
onion.
like? You fool. Would you like it though? No, she refuses to eat this.
I also have this stuff called splooge. It's so good. It's made out of peaches.
It's Kyle
Okay.
leaves.
No, yeah, okay, let's go.
That
Here,
was a
take this.
Holes reference.
Take this back, and
digging
then
up the hole.
I'm gonna just still holding onto the horse. I'm gonna just rifle through the basket until I find something like vaguely. Okay, there we go. Ah, yes. Like a
Warren
zucchini.
looks outside. Ooh, the sun's coming down. That means the ghosts are coming. When does the train come? We probably will need food for the trip. And he begins to pile more food into this basket.
Eat. You want to
Beulah's-
fight?
I think Beulah's coming down off that hit and is just very starting to like just be more lucid. This is how I wanted to spend my last moments on Earth with Curly Larry and Mo. Great. They were assholes then.
My name's Warren.
Miss Divine, why did they push you out here?
They wanted the monies.
Their plan is just to leave you out here to die?
No, they said there was talk of a train that would take me to hell because apparently that's what my daughter-in-law Veronica said I deserved.
She's a reptile person. You can't trust her.
She said I deserved to rot in hell. At least that's what I overheard them saying. And that they were going to use my inheritance to build a pool house for her mother to live in.
also a reptile, probably.
And then my son was gonna take his mistress to,
Mistress.
yeah. My son has a mistress, because apparently Veronica doesn't give it up or enough.
Yeah, then he would know she's a reptile.
Yeah. So I don't know how they have children.
I don't an alien.
No.
It's crazy. Don't do that.
I feel like if you guys say one more word I don't understand, my head just might explode in front of you.
Vibrator.
Vibrator.
All right, I'm intrigued. Tell me about.
All right.
What is this? What contraption? Perhaps some kind of, what is that? What does that do? I'm assuming.
I've got one. If you want to see.
Huh? Okay, yeah, bring it up. Buttercup, we're going to learn a vibrator. That does. I feel like it vibrates. I feel like I understand that, but what could its purpose be?
Well, I mean, you got to think Cleopatra had a item filled with bees, so I don't think it's too far gone. That would be something aware of its usage.
I'm learning a lot today.
Right. So we have everybody's gotten our food with this basket of food that we take up back out on that main street, and we're watching the sunset, and it's very peaceful. It's been so chaotic since we've been here, but we're watching like the sunset.
The ghosts are coming.
The ghosts are coming. And the wronged, myself, I feel the rumble of the locomotive, and it reminds me of the feeling of when the car we were in started going off-road and into the gravel, the way the whole car shook as we hit the gravel before the accident. That's how the rumble sound reminds me of. Beulah, you smell the smoke from the engine. What does that smell remind you of?
Before the first time I stepped on stage. The first time I stepped on stage to perform. Because, it was, a lounge, and the smoke was in the air, and there was, this anticipation of what's to become. So, I could smell it, and I could hear drinks clinking, and little murmurs, and laughing, and music, and the smoke just brings me back to that moment.
Romeo, you hear the call of the whistle. What does it remind you of?
The whistle, it would remind me of back in young training. All boys have to learn the way of the sword, and it would remind me of the whistle that our master, the general, who's teaching us these martial prowess, he would blow the whistle to get our attention before we would line up. It kind of brings me to my child-id moment. It's the most familiar thing that's happened this entire journey, is just the sound of a whistle blowing and feeling like I have to be at attention at this moment. I have to kind of be ready to take in some kind of whether it be scrutiny or otherwise. I'm like Pavloved to be alert at this moment and waiting.
Warren, you notice the lantern of the train shining in the distance. What does it remind you of?
I think the light would remind him of the first time he delved into these tales he found himself being so encapsulated with. He was sitting in his bedroom, sneakily reading like kids do, flashing that light on to try to continue going down this rabbit hole of nonsense, but just the anxiety and the anticipation, trying to make sure he gets all this information without being caught.
Perfect. As the four of us stand at the crossroads under the watchful eye of Jonathan Spugel. From the direction that Romeo rode in the desert is where we see the train tearing through the ground and the giant plumes of smoke, of dust that are being kicked up from the side. And we feel that reverberating through our bodies, this rumble in the ground as it gets heavier and heavier. We all smell this strong, you expect that strong odor, but no, it smells like anticipation. The sound makes us attentive, the light makes us hopeful for some reason. And this ghastly black metal monstrosity that looks like Charlie the Choo-Choo. Diabolical face on the front with a voice that sounds like horrid auto-tune. And it's coming straight towards us, and instinctually we all step to the side, and the train runs, and we think it's gonna just barrel past us, but it comes to a stop, and the front point of it touches the base of the John Spugel statue.
Warren is now pacing back and forth. Fucking knew it. I fucking knew. Everybody told me I was fucking crazy and it didn't make any goddamn sense. But here the fuck we are. And who was right? Me!
Beulah's gonna pat him. Good job, honey. You did something right.
It's the beginning. Now begins my adventure to take down the reptilians.
The door has to the engine has a window in it, but it's kind of opaque, but you can see the light on behind it, and you see a human figure outlined come to the door, and the door starts to slide open, and that is where we enter the next phase of the game. So the door swings open. The conductor, who now has a hand on the board, steps out right in front of Warren.
Does he say anything?
Nope.
Okay. So Warren immediately does the cliche anime thumb pop up of a katana. As he begins to circle around the conductor, kind of eyeing him up and down, looking into his eyes, getting very close to him. But what stops him is as he kind of turns back around, like coming from the backside of his body, he catches the conductor's name tag. And it's just says The Truth 42069. And it reminds Warren of his days on 4chan as he's on these threads of conspiracy theories. And he remembers having this conversation with Truth Seeker 42069, talking about how the inner Earth is actually at the inside of the Earth itself. And that the reptilian people are trying to stage a coup and rise up. And there's going to be one person in the world that is going to be destined to save everybody.
Jesus Christ.
As Warren, it's been you this whole time. I'm prepared for my destiny. As he takes a massively big hit. I'm ready.
What's your admission?
I'm not gonna need this because I must be immortal, but you may take my soul.
What What do you give it to him in the form of? Like an offering that represents your soul?
What would Warren give him?
I feel like Warren just stands there like this.
Yeah, I think so. I think Warren is just like expecting some type of like energy to like vacate his body. I don't think Warren would believe there should be like a physical entity. Like I feel like he believes like his inner being is going to be just siphoned from him.
Perfect. So, and he's holding out his hand for an item, and you don't present one.
He grabs it. He grabs his hand and puts it to his chest.
Perfect. And what do you feel?
I think everything that Warren believes to be true is kind of like fulfilled in this moment. Like there's always that level of, is it true? But now as this is happening, like Warren's like, everything has led up to this moment. So like he just feels the lightheartedness of all of this coming to the surface, and like just this bright white energy just being taken from his chest into the conductor's hand.
And he gestures for you to come aboard and take a seat.
Don't worry, guys. Not a reptilian. It's safe. And he boards the train.
Yippee. Yeah, okay.
And that was my admission.
Your admission?
So I
Oh, technically that's also going to be my desire. Because he was what brought.
There you go.
Both. Yep.
Bam, that's both. You got all three of them up.
I guess I will go next, and I'll walk up to him, and yeah, there's this kind of familiarity that I'll get when I see him. Something about his expression, the cold and distant look that he gives me kind of reminds me of like my father, like the pining after of me wanting to be a good and noble son, but constantly contradicting him and feeling that like my wants and desires are so separate from his, and so this kind of like impassionate cold stare is what I am reminded of, and I kind of like avert my gaze down, and I read his name tag, and I say, "Sir 420, I present you the dagger that took my beloved's life."
Ooh.
He accepts. He takes it from your hands and puts it behind his back like a video game NPC. Takes it out and it's gone. And gestures the train.
Yeah, and I'll be like, "Buttercup, you just wait for me. I'll be right back."
I'm right here.
Silence.
Beulah, would you like to go next or last?
I'll go next.
Okay.
Beulah's gonna slowly get up off the bench and waddle over. You don't look too good from this view. She's looking up at the conductor. You know you got to trim some of those nose hairs, right? And she's gonna open her purse.
Pull out a
She's
brick.
gonna rummage around. She's like, "Hold on, I have it. Hold this." And she puts the brick in his hand. And she puts like 2 packs of cigarettes on the brick. Hold on, it's a Mary Poppins bag. You gotta reach down low.
Like a designer name.
Yep. Put the rest in here. Just throw it in there. The brick's not gonna break shit. Just throw it all in there. Okay. And she's gonna hand him her will.
Ooh!
And the will, everything, and like her children assumed that she was going to leave everything to them. but instead she donated it to the local like dance academy. Every single cent, and all the profits from her house, anything that she's left behind, anything her husband Schmoogle that has passed left behind goes to this dance academy. She's like, that'll teach them kids.
Oh god.
Do you got a light? Do you got a light?
Warren lights his torch.
Yeah, he gestures back for you to take a seat.
Okay. All right. She's gonna pat his hand. Thanks. And
Brit,
she's
was that
gonna
your?
waddle on board.
Did you give us your
Yeah.
third one? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump on you.
Yeah.
I'm starting to question if this is going to be a poker game at the end, and I don't like our hands.
Kyle stands alone with this conductor, and he approaches him holding his camera, and he doesn't want to, but he can't help himself, and he pulls the camera up and he takes a photo. And when he pulls
Warren
it back,
make sure he's in the photo.
when he pulls it back down, there is absolutely nothing there. And for some reason, that is the thing that cements in his head that this really is going to happen. And he gets close to the conductor, and the conductor smells like Cutty Sark, which is what him and his sister and his sister's boyfriend were drinking the night they got into the accident. Because Kyle was in the back seat of that same car. And he moves through his photos to the photos that Warren saw very briefly of what looked like a birthday party that were taken discreetly. And he holds the camera up and he says, "My sister told me what she loved about my photography was that she felt like I captured the souls of the people shining through. This is all of his family that's left alive." And he offers the camera to leave the man who killed his sister, alone. And then he steps onto the train himself, accepting his fate.
Gulp.
And that brings us to the departure phase. With all of us on board, the train doors close and it pulls away. And the four of us sit on this train, and our ethereal camera from the very beginning moves through the train and first comes to rest on Kyle Beaumont, who, for this game, when you've revealed all of your answers, you compare your top card to the conductor's top card. The conductor's being the eight of clubs, and my highest is the ace of spades, which means that I meet with an acceptable fate. As Kyle goes down the tracks, the rumbling that reminded him of the car accident gets more intense, and it feels like it is just his seat. When he looks around, no one else seems in distress the same physical way he is. And as he is he like grips onto the arms, because he starts hearing these sounds, and it takes him back to what was looked like a birthday party in the photos, but it was actually a family reunion. And he's hearing all of the laughter and the happiness, and it's coming back to him louder and louder. And then he starts hearing all of those individual laughs become screams of agony as he's damned all of these souls completely unrelated. And as he starts to feel all of that death weigh on him, he hears his sister's voice. And it's Annie telling him, "That's what we wanted. That's what we wanted," over and over, as Kyle leans back in the chair and accepts oblivion. Next, the camera pans over to Beulah Divine, who with she has an ace high, so ace beats an 8. So Beulah, you meet with an acceptable fate on your journey to hell.
So Beulah has probably already fallen asleep. She's lulled by the clack of the train, and so her head's like up against the window, and she's snoring. But she smells when the smoke. She still smells the smoke, but she's transported to the first time she performed, back to the first time she performed, and it's starting to replay in her head, and she's standing behind this curtain, and she remembers like the first time jitters, and she the curtains open, and she's about to start dancing, and there's no one in the audience but one person, and you can't see their face, but they're just like clapping, and all of a sudden more faces pop up, and there's more clapping, and it becomes a roar of applause. And she takes just a bow. She doesn't even dance, she just bows. And then everyone disappears. But she still feels fulfilled. And the curtains close. And that's it.
The camera then pans over to Romeo Montague.
Yeah. Did I beat him?
You did. You have a 10. Your 10 beats his 8.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so...
or no, sorry, you had a king. A wrong hand. King beats 8.
You're telling me I have a king and a queen?
Yeah, you have a king and a queen.
Hey.
A king of hearts and a queen of diamonds.
It would have been so sick if we were different colors, but that's fine.
You still are different suits.
It's true.
True. Yeah, true. But yeah, I guess I'll be sitting in this train, the second scariest new vehicle that I've ever been inside. Yeah, I'm sitting in this train and kind of like getting used to the seat. It's setting in on me that I may never see Buttercup again.
I'm right here.
You can't read my thoughts, fool. Have at thee. But yeah, it's starting to set on me that I might not see Buttercup again, and I just start to think on just like how tall of a tale this kind of seems to be, right? And like thinking about like how Friar Tuck has failed me in the past, and I start to feel this like kind of like regret and doubt. You know, I'm like, what if he just wanted to get rid of me? That the train is real, but what does it mean, and all this stuff, and I'm just like thinking about it, like I've damned myself to hell for no reason, like what's gonna come about this. And then I kind of just like lean back and I feel a thigh on the seat next to me, and I look over, and it's like an ethereal kind of form, like an apparating form, like becoming solid in front of me. Is my love, with a huge wound in her chest. No, I'm kidding.
We are going to hell, so I mean.
But yeah, it's my love. The reason I'm here, and she kind of just takes my hand, and she doesn't say a word, and neither do I, and I just start to cry again. Gentle tears start to fall, and I'm able to like kind of lay back, and I close my eyes, allow the rest of the road to, or the rest of the track to take me and us away.
And then we finally move over to Warren.
Warren is
10
sitting...
high beats the 8.
Hell yeah. Warren sits back in his chair. The roaring of the engine from the train transfers in his brain to the roaring of an engine of a plane as he is sitting next to his great-grandfather in 1928 as he is flying over Antarctica, as they look down to see a massive hole in the ground as the plane dips inside of it as they enter into the hollow earth. Warren steps off of the plane and gets onto the back of a plesiosaur as as he grabs the neck. The plesiosaur dives into the water, leading into this deep, dark, water-filled tunnel as he just disappears into the abyss.
And with that, the like going through a tunnel, the lights on and off, on and off, on and off as the camera backs through the wall, and we see the train going through the open desert again, as the smoke, the billowing smoke, smells like weed. The lights, the gentle hum of the lights have turned blood red, like that of a photographer's developing room. The front, the light at the front now appears to be a stage spotlight, brightly lighting the path ahead of us, and the sound of the horn, of the whistle, has become the wails of Romeo's screams when he first held his beloved. And the train moves on to hell. And that is that hellbound train.
Yay!
Yay, we did it! We did a one-shot
at all.
The game is called That Hellbound Train.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a fan of that one. I had my trepidations coming into this, but that was enjoyable.
Yeah, I will say I thought I was going to be the silliest character.
Nope.
I thought I was going to shed some joy into this morbid affair.
All right, it's time to review. I think this is the first time I've played this game. I believe it's also Austin and Tease. Is this your first time playing, Josh?
No, I have played this once before.
Okay, so you're not a newbie, but you're also not. It's not like a game you play every week.
Yeah, not
Okay.
a seasoned vet.
Okay, so now that we've all played, what are your guys' thoughts? The replayability. Do you feel like it's balanced? Is there something that you wish it had that it didn't? What are your guys' thoughts?
I think for me, I enjoyed it. I thought that, like, as far as replayability, like it's really just a skeleton, and all of the meat is like on you. So like right away, like it was fun to kind of just like immerse yourself in, like, discover a character. I think this would be a great way of like getting into role playing, like improv based stuff. Like at least for me, like the draw for like D&D, for instance, was just like stats and battle like mechanics and stuff. And so like RP is not something that like I'm necessarily super like like that's not necessarily a draw for me. But I think this is a really cool game to, like, you have a character, be the character, and go kind of thing. Takes almost no prep time, which is sweet. The only thing that I feel like I don't know if it's like a negative emotion even, but the cards and the values and stuff, I feel like it's incentivizing you. Like the literature says, share what you want, board if you want, right? And so I guess like the idea of, I just can't picture a scenario where you like choose to fail, but I guess that would be how it would unravel. Like if you talk to people and like, oh, I'm being selfish, or I don't deserve it, or whatever, then you know that's kind of interesting. Or you choose to live, or something like that. So it's interesting and open-ended. I guess like it was just the cards, like the prestige of the end, and like me again being like stats and stuff motivated. I was like, wow, I would just give away all of my details, of course. And of course I would board, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like the conductor could draw an ace too. So yeah. I think that's really cool. I think it's really fun, that it really makes you think and pull creativity out of you. I would not recommend this game to somebody who's a complete novice or who doesn't feel comfortable thinking on their feet. But if you intermediate level, you want to practice for DMing or something like that, I think this is a really cool way to just yes and with people.
And I got to agree with that, because that was my big thing. Is I don't think you would bring this to a table of new players, because most of the time, at least in my experience, most of the time when you're bringing new people into TTRPGs, roleplay is the last thing they want to do, because there's that awkwardness to it. Most people are not just upfront and comfortable, like, yeah, let me make up a voice, let me dive into this character, let me be willing to laugh at myself if I fail in character, and understand that not everybody here is going to laugh at me. So I don't know if I would bring this to a bunch of new people, but I think I agree with like that intermediate level of, once you have a good grasp of TTRPGs and what you want out of a character, I think this is a fantastic way to add that moral question of how your character would respond to certain things. Because I agree, I feel like the cards are a little out there for me. I don't know how I would change it up to like, yes, you win or lose, or this is your outcome for it. But I think is a good representation of morality. Like, what would your character do in this high stakes situation that actually allows you to lead up to that circumstance and put some thought into what would my character do here, instead of those typical TTRPG moments like, oh, you need to make a split-second decision. This is a 2-hour game of you in character, sitting down, talking amongst others, bringing this out. And like you said, maybe the conversation comes up and you reveal that. Maybe it's just not a good way to have that conversation, so it doesn't come up. So then you're faced at that moral conundrum, at that problem, like, oh, what is going to be the outcome of this situation? And a lot of these adventuring type games, you don't know what the outcome is going to be. But that was a lot of negatives. Positive wise, I think is a fantastic way to creatively roll, because it really just opens up that space to let you kind of do whatever the hell you want. Like, here's your guidelines, roll with it without giving you those. Some people like structure, some people like the rules and what's allowed and not allowed. But really, when you get into roleplay, there are no rules. And I think this is a great place for people to kind of dive into and understand the possibilities are truly what you like can set them out to be in your own head.
Mm-hmm. And I would say I honestly kind of disagree with you two about like not bringing it to new players, because I feel like if you're trying to get a group of people to feel comfortable around each other, and you're trying to get people to roleplay outside of just combat, because I've seen players where that's what they want, is just combat. But if you're trying to get roleplay as a part of your RPG or your D&D table, this is a great exercise to try to get your characters out of their shell. I know personally that, I was stuck in the combat realm, and it's when I started playing more roleplay heavy TTRPGs that's when I came out of my shell, when it came to, voices and thinking on my feet. Because if you're constantly just combat heavy, you're not going to experience the roleplay side of role-playing games. So I feel like it would be a great exercise for new characters to kind of get to know each other's play style as well. But like they've said with the cards, that kind of confused me as well. Because, like, you know, I get it at the end where you're comparing hands with a conductor, but I feel like, you know, it could have incorporated maybe like if you have a flush, or if you have, you know, all the same colors, something like that, that could have pertained to maybe a little bit more spicy endings, in that sense. But I think at the end of the thing, like, unless you've played it multiple times, what happens if I don't beat their hand? What happens if I don't? And so that brings the replayability into it as well.
I will say the first time I played this, we had only one person at the table who didn't beat the conductor's hand, and they narrated the most gnarly, like, Hellraiser-esque, like, if I remember, it was something to the effect of, like, they basically described the train, the illusion of the train as falling away, and seeing what it really looked like. Ooh, and then being faced with that, like, eldritch, unexplainable horror and being driven mad for eternity was kind of their epilogue.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think with this game, it brings so many different facets into it. Like, I could have played it where my character was going to be selfish and not got on the train.
Mm-hmm.
And for, like, until she actually died, like, her family was just wondering what could have happened. So I think there's there's so many ways you can play this game. Even if you play the same character every time, there's so many ways you could play it.
Yeah, I think something that I didn't think of, but something that's definitely a positive, and not many people feel comfortable to do this in games like D&D, Pathfinder, stuff like that, with like set rules, with a lot of rules, is like bringing the story from the player's perspective. Like, just like saying that there's pickles in the cupboard, or just saying that there, like, so many people, and like I'm a longtime DM, right? So many people like open the cupboard and they ask what's in it. You know what I mean? I don't care what's in it.
Mm-hmm.
If there's something that suits you that's in it, like, then it's probably there. You know what I mean? Exactly. Like, so I think that it's really cool because it gives you the ability to, like, bring the world you know, kind of to life in that way. And I think that more players need to kind of like experience that power, because it's like, it's I saw recently somebody was talking about this. I think it was Brennan Lee Mulligan or someone, but they were talking about, like, it's like the ideal game of a TTRPG is not like you being railroaded or the players being completely autonomous. It's the DM bringing railroads down and the players willfully riding on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's the ideal game of D&D. So, like, people can, like, come up with their own stories or whatever, but the idea is, like, you bring the game as much as the DM does, and that's the collaboration, right? You're not just playing their game, you're playing your game, you know, and you can bring as much or as little to it as you want. And that conversation is kind of, I think, a really cool way where, like, we were all DMing. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you were running the story, you were narrating for us, but we were all bringing in elements, and we all had the freedom to do that, which I think is really cool in a game.
Which, adding on to that, another facet of, like, how modifiable you could easily, like, homebrew this into a campaign. It wouldn't have to be a one-shot. Because we all know the worst part about a TTRPG is finding somebody to dedicate to be the DM. Because we all know the joke, like, once you become a DM, you're the forever DM. Because nobody wants that role. Everybody wants to be a player because it's less stress, it's more carefree. But this system could really allow you, take away the hell aspect of it, and make this this card reveal be something along the lines of, in this scenario, this is going to be the universal outcome before we lead into this next sector of story that we're kind of diving into. Because Hellbound kind of really limits you, like, oh, I'd like this style of game, but, like, I don't want to deal with, like, the unfortunate ending. Like, that's just not something I'm looking for. There's still something here for everybody by just even minute tweaks. Like, you don't even know how You don't have to know how to completely homebrew something. You can just tweak very, very small things and turn this into whatever you want. And like Austin said, it really gives the players the ability to chime into that world, to make them aware, like, oh, what I say holds power without that hand holding involved of, no, you tell me, and awkwardly putting them in the spot. So like you said, we're all DMing here. We're all conversing. We're all riffing off of each other. And that's the great thing about these, is you may not go into this having an idea, but just having a couple conversations and just silly comments like, oh, I've just unlocked so much of this character. We can kind of unravel this as it develops. And again, still having that option of, if you don't like the combat heavy, you want something loosey-goosey where everybody can kind of do this own thing, grab that deck of cards and have your big bad evil guy be at the end, drawing at the end, and your outcomes are going to be determined based off, did you beat that hand? And going off what Brit said, add in a poker style to it if you want to add a little bit more complexity to it, so it's not just high card wins. There's just so many small things that this can be just implemented to add so much more than just one shots.
Yeah, like a scenario where you're at like a fancy ball and trying to get information, where it's all a social aspect.
Ooh, that's good.
You can let cards be those determining successes. Yeah, I really like the card aspect. I do agree with you all that it feels like there's just something missing about it that I can't quite place. But I do like that with this game, going into it, my options are bad or worse, and that being just determining what that fate is. And also kind of, I agree with Brit in it's not a great game for all beginners, but for instance, the people I played with for the first time, 2 of them were theater and improviser background people, so this was firmly in their wheelhouse because they didn't have to learn rules. Yep. They just had to play characters. But yeah, I feel this game is better played as an exercise than a weekly game. It is like, I just thinking about the conversations, the way we developed these characters in less than 2 hours. Imagine if pulling us to our source of Cloudscape. Imagine if our 4 characters from Cloudscape were playing this game as well as we know them, and as well as they develop. Like it lets you build, and it practices the give and take. And that's the thing I like, that all 4 of us had the same 3 questions. We all got the same thing out of revealing them, but that it's up to us to give and take that space to let those moments happen.
Yeah, and you're DMing with yourself, okay, you win. What does that look like?
Right.
You know what I mean? And
for Kyle, that looked like getting exactly what he wanted, and at the last second realizing it was way too far before oblivion. Like it's dark consequences, but that's still his happy ending.
Yep.
And I think with specifically like games that are so open-ended like this, that I kept coming up with ideas in my head about the backstory, and I don't think it ever stopped. And I'm like, how can I get this out? How can I get that out? And it's like there were no moments for me to like explain that, but like I came in knowing who my character was, what her name was, and like a rough of what like her wanting to do before she died. But it wasn't until we played off each other that she was like, oh yeah, that would go good, because like it was a very rough form of who she was until we kind of finished. And I don't know about any of you how you kind of planned your character, how intensely you planned your character, because we kind of threw this together in 4 days. Like the idea of we were doing this in 4 days, so like having that amount of time to create a character, but it was more on the spot than it was actual long time planning. That was for me personally.
No, totally. Like for me, like I chose like a gag, like right out of the gate, being like a man out of time, right? And like that was like it was just like basically again, yeah, you're just talking like we're all responding to very similar prompts. I got the youth and something you can't die without, right? And I just thought that would be so funny. You know what I mean? like they talk the young lovers, and like the whole idea of like, what if it was a comedy instead of a tragedy, right? Because they talk about I can't remember who it was. They were talking about like, what it's very possible that William Shakespeare wrote this like to make people laugh. Like, look at these stupid kids that were so ignorant to the world around them, right? Like, it's possible that they were like joking. Like, this could have been like a sitcom, or not a sitcom, but a rom-com. But anyway, yeah. So I came into it. I brushed up on the Romeo stuff just to like remember that I remembered all of the things that were involved, and I just thought, okay, he's lived. I didn't like. I was thinking about his backstory and like how maybe like Verona was like some kind of like time, you know, like it was 2023, but like there was no you know, technological advances happening here, and so it was a real like seeing the world and stuff like that. As far as like knowing how to play it or whatever, I really just like had like those canned bits in mind. And I didn't even know how I was going to enter until I knew that I wanted to enter last, but that's all I knew until we kind of got talking and formulating. Like that's the majority of the prep that I think that I did.
I do love the 3 questions that were asked. I think something that makes it so easy to latch onto a character is that very first question. Answering that question builds a lot of the character, and it's, what do you desire badly enough to board a train to hell and risk riding it to the end? Like, having to make such a big choice about your characters, like, that's a deep want. And I feel like if you decide something that powerful, it makes kind of the rest of your personality trickle down.
I was just gonna say, like, the whole thing is a gag for me, right? Because like playing off of the idea that Romeo and Juliet were like just like impatient children, you know, that were making rash decisions. Like, I would go to hell and back for you, my love. Like, for like, you know what I mean? Like the idea of like the whole thing being a joke, and like I didn't know about the consequences for the end, right? I didn't think about that, but there's like a very real possibility that I fail and I just died for nothing. Do you know what I mean? And so like so I thought that was like, because again, it's not like my mentality was, what's the funniest thing I could possibly do, right? But it's like, as long as you're like thinking on your feet, and you know what I mean, like taking the stimulus and translating it back, you could do 0 prep on this.
I realized we really ignored that we had a minor here the whole time. Because what, Romeo's 16?
Something, or Juliet's 16. I think I'm older. I can't remember.
I think Juliet's like 14.
Maybe.
Juliet's
I know that I'm older, but I can't remember if
I think it's like 14 and 16.
Too damn young to be making decisions like that.
Too damn young to have that much weed.
I mean, I went the same route that Austin did. So Josh going first, I was like, oh, he's going this more serious character, because my thought process behind Warren was, I just want the overboard conspiracy theorist that's just too far in. And I was going to go more of just like the crazy Charlie Wall meme. But I was like, well, if Josh is going a more serious character, I don't want this whole game to be like, we're all just trying to like one to each other and like this darkness level. I was like, let's add I'll be that comedic character. And I didn't mean for it to go to that umpteenth degree, but I was like, just as the conversations kind of developed, I'm like, I mean, it's naturally taking place. And it's just that development, because I feel like going down those conspiracy theories that like, if you believe those, you want it to be real. And if you're aware of that, so you can dictate the outcome, kind of like be the hero of that story. Like, and so like, that was just what I played into, was just that I am going to play this character as somebody that has just gone way too far off the deep end, but deep down still wants to be that cliche hero at the end of the day. And then I just took in things that I have way too much knowledge about, was able to blabber on, and none of that is made up. if you believe so. A lot of that is based off the Hollow Earth theory that Hitler ran away to Venezuela, found the Fountain of Youth, found the reptilian people is hiding out in this Hollow Earth. Admiral Byrd did fly into Antarctica in the late 1920s and believed, like, he has journals of flying into the Earth, meeting these giant people, and so all of these things are based off just real life conspiracy theories and just a living emphasis of like how quickly you can just go off the deep end with these thought processes.
And well, in building off that, we also never discussed tone at the top of it. Yep. Like we and that's by design. I just wanted to roll in and see what we had. But the first time I played, it was all very straight laced characters, and got like the drama got heavy. And so it's definitely a who you play with. It's the mood you're in to play. Like we play in the mornings when we are feeling kind of goofy and fun, and we like doing this together. So of course our shit's gonna get a little goofy. But if you have a table that like likes dark stuff and really is into that, you could. I can imagine an incredible game of this coming out of people who are really in the genre and want to explore that.
Or you could turn into a bunch of edgelords.
Or you could do that too. Either way.
There's the beauty of this specific game is it's so versatile. You can play it any way you want, and although it affects each other, you can play it how you want.
Yeah, especially if you just want to continuously slam drugs down another player.
I won't lie, I based my character after a cartoon that I watched with my daughter this week.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, I'm playing an elder, and I was going to be like, you know, sweet old lady type of caring about everyone. And then I watched this cartoon of this old lady, and I was like, nope, I'm going to be the grumpy granny, and that's what I'm going to do.
The great choice.
And so I feel like going in unplanned made it, like, having an idea and then bringing it to fruition was so much better than, you know, sometimes when you plan your D&D characters or you plan the lore that goes behind and the backstory behind your character, and it doesn't come out right because you've built it and it doesn't come how you want it, there's that disappointment. Whereas here, I just kind of made stuff up on the spot, and it was more beautiful than if I had sat and written pages and pages and pages.
Here on the RPG Project, we don't rate things out of stars, we rate things out of dice. So I personally would give this game 4 out of 5 dice. What do you got for it, Josh?
I really like it. It's great with a table who is just down to do some role playing. It's also, I remembered what I was going to say. Going off of what Brit said, that creating characters, the fact that what I love about one-off systems that are designed to be short games like this is that I get to have this character and never think about him ever again.
Yep.
And so I don't have the pitfall of investing so much in a character and it not turning out. I can just roll with it, and after 2 hours, if I didn't like that character, I never have to play them again. But if I found something interesting in that 2 hours, I can be like, you know what? Some of the stuff that came out in the photography thing might be cool for a character.
Yeah, let me put this on the shelf to grab him later.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And because I'm such a big fan of roleplay in games, I'm also going to go 4 out of 5 dice.
Awesome. All right, Austin, what you got?
I feel like 4 is good. I think that maybe just like tables that I've had, I'm a little apprehensive about how a session will run.
Agreed.
Sure.
So I'll give it a 3.5.
Okay. All right, Britt, what you got?
I think I'm also going to give it a 4 because I still feel like you as a player can make it a 5 by adding your homebrew. So
yeah,
because I feel like, you know, there's a little bit room of the card plate to get, you know, but I feel like you as the players can make adjustments to tickle your fancy. So, you know, this isn't like, if it's not how you want it to be, you can make it how you want it to be. and that with the loosey-goosey rule set, that's what I like best about it. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
Well, with that, that means we give it a cumulative score of a 3.875. So have fun figuring out how to illustrate 3 7/8 of a dice score here for our graphic.
I guess that's my job.
We'll figure out the math. We'll get our
I
dice.
give it a 3.
There it is. All right.
It's a D20, so math. I'll figure it out.
But thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the RPG Project. If you like this and you would like to know more of the mechanics side of it, we do have a how-to play, so we can go a little bit deeper into the mechanics that our actual plays are going to be actually seeing the mechanics take place. As we saw with this being a role-play heavier game, there's not going to be a lot of gameplay mechanics, but Josh can kind of break down everything of this is what's going on behind the scenes as the what was the term?
Facilitator.
The facilitator. Thank you. But until next time, I'm T.
I'm Josh.
I'm Austin.
I'm Brit.
And you guys just keep
Geeking out.
Bye.
Bye.
So glad I didn't hit stop recording.
You can find more chaos from the RPG Project by clicking the links below. Press subscribe so you know when we drop a new video.